Ah!
Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to the Hidden Veil. For one viewer, we had a lot of shit happen last session, but let me finish this. I'm getting ahead of myself. Bo is being played by Aaron Gray. Nothing being played by Guy. Colton being played by Fractress. Atan being played by Han. Edis being played by Hollow. The ambiance you are listening to is from Sword Coast Soundscapes. Our YouTube is Hidden Veil. Our Twitter is Hidden Veil DND. All right. In the last session, the party known as the Bucket Brigade had the tide turned against them. Of the Bucket Brigade is Lance, played by Aaron Gray, Nothing, played by Guy, Colton, played by Fractress, Atan, played by Han, and Adis, played by Hollow. After the massacre of the members of the Red Disciples, in the session prior, the party was not worried about the next fight. There were a couple heart-to-hearts before the next fight, but when it came, the party came across the remaining members of Red Disciples, including their Ember Half-Dragon leader, Azine. When the party charged in, they were trying to read a magic scroll. The party managed to kill all the Red Disciples except for Azine, who, in one round, managed to down both Adis and Nothing, and she took the bleeding out Adis hostage as she read the scroll and made the mountain site explode spectacularly. The party was unable to kill her before she stabbed Adis in the heart, killing him. With Adis dead, Nothing bleeding out, and the mountain falling atop of him, we ended the session. And that is where we last left off. Alright. Aaron. Sorry, Chance Lance Bow. Chance. You run over to the bleeding out body of Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You begin, as you feel the ground begin to crumble and shake around you, you begin to enact the process of trying to stabilize him before a hand grabs your shoulder and goes, "Watch out!" And you're pushed back just as a pile of boulders and rocks fall into where the body of Nothing was.
Oh.
We need to fall back! Get the half-dragon! We need to go! Fuck it. And Kaylee runs over and goes to pick up, heaving up the body of Adis on her shoulder. What are the rest of you doing?
I guess I'm gonna assist her, sort of in shock what just happened.
A large boulder crashes on the ground, bouncing and then going through the waterfall, making this large opening in the water just for a second before it goes out of view, toppling down the mountainside. You manage to get Adis onto her shoulder, fastening it, and she just begins to dash back to where you guys came from.
Guess I'm just kind of look back, one last sad look at the rubble on top of Nothing, and follow her, I guess.
Colton, what are you doing?
Currently, Colton is kind of knelt down on the ground with his wand kind of next to him, just kind of staring at Adis. He can't really... He feels paralyzed. He can't really move. He can barely even react.
As Kaylee runs past you, she stops and grabs your shoulders. Come on, there's time for that later. We need to go. We need to go. And she brings you up to your feet and pushes you along.
Alright.
Atan, what are you doing?
Hatana's blindly following Kaylee. He's also in shock. He's not really focusing, but he knows that he needs to get out of there, so he's following Kaylee, who seems to be leading the group right now.
I want everyone to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, that was not meant to be whatever it was. Advantage. That was 11.
Alright. Fuck. Kaylee got a natural 1. Okay.
I apologize. What saving throw is this?
Dexterity.
All right, I'm good at that. 23.
Alright. So, everyone in the party takes 2. Okay, everyone except for Bo takes 2 bludgeoning damage as a number of rocks bounce off of them. They're unable to get away. Bo, as you are running, this large boulder goes to crash in front of you, for you dive forward, crashing behind you, and use a momentum to catch yourself, roll on the ground before jumping up to your feet and continue running.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
And Kaylee nearly drops Adis, but manages to get a firm grip on him. And she about falls over the side with a natural 1, but
I'm gonna say if I notice that, I'm definitely gonna try to assist her. Like I said, I was assisting her earlier. I definitely think I would be helping her if I saw that.
Okay, you can help her, but
Right.
There's
She's
not,
still got a nat 1.
Yeah, but you're also full on sprinting down this mountain path.
I'm just saying, like, maybe I'll wait for her to catch up and then help her.
You guys continue. For the sake of brevity, you guys run and run until you get to a small alcove in the mountain pass where you stop and you see the rocks above you falling above you, dodging, missing you. You can get a breather as you just see a cascade of rocks and boulders the size of houses cascade into the middle of the wall of Wittenjude, just covering the crops, the colorful fields and crops and waterways, and destroying the aqueducts that are outside of the main gate into the underground city. There's more. And even to see the cliff wall behind you crack at one moment as it threatens to just crumble and then bring you guys with it, but it stays. It stays.
Are we able to see, like, where the scholars are gathered outside of the city wall?
You can see like a couple campfire trails.
Is the rubble like crushing them, or just out of curiosity?
No, because they're outside the wall. Pretty much all these boulders are just being siphoned into that wall like a bowl.
Oh, inside of the dwarven complex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a bowl, like like Ice Age.
Yeah.
We're in that bowl. Anyway. And after about 5 minutes of just watching rocks tumble, seems like an hour. This one gigantic boulder lazily falls onto the path, not blocking your way, but just 10 feet from you while just stopping there. And the rocks finally stop. And you guys catch your breath. We need to get off the mountainside. We need to get off right now. Okay, we need to go. Come on. And Kaylee. And Kaylee continues along the path leading you guys, and after a while, you guys are able to make it down the mountain path, make it to the forest edge. Where then, exhausted, the sun has now set. Now, you just take a breather before just collapsing on the ground, exhausted, physically and mentally.
I think Bo is just gonna like sit down and sort of like turn his back to everyone else and try not to let them show that he's crying.
Kaylee puts the body of Adis leaned up against a tree. She just like collapses next to it. Colton, what are you doing?
Colton right now is kind of just still looking at the body, unable to really do anything. It's like his body isn't responding. He feels incredibly numb right now. And it's as if the environment around him isn't even real. He can't it's like he can't focus on anything.
Atan, what are you doing?
I think I just collapse on the ground, lay on my back, and stare up at the sky. Perhaps the exhaustion begins to set in of climbing a mountain and falling down it. Not literally, but you know.
Pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
You guys are able to look up and just see this big dent in the mountainside. Exactly above Whit and Jude. The waterfalls are crazy, like making weird movements as like the waterways have been changed now. But it's still there. And you see now instead of 5 waterfalls, there's only 3. After a bit, Kaylee stands up, and Chance, she goes to you. You just feel a hand on your shoulder, and
I'm not crying.
alright, you hurt? You hurt?
Oh.
Look, and she stands you up.
Oh, she doesn't. I don't stand up.
She tries to stand you up. When she fails, she just sits down beside you. Puts a hand on your shoulder. I'm sorry. This This kind of thing happens. It's
No, it doesn't. This has never happened to any of us before. I mean, can't speak for everyone else. It's never happened to me before. We always are fine. I mean, sometimes people get hurt, but everyone always comes home.
it's not your fault. It's not any of your
Really?
faults.
Because a little while ago, you're saying I'm not taking enough responsibility and that everything's my fault. Pretty sure that's more along the lines of what you said.
Some things are your fault, not this. You all fought fairly. You all fought well. Just, even I underestimated her, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we all did.
You're okay. You're okay.
He's gonna try to fumble with his flint and steel and try to light a cigarette.
As you do that, she just stands up and she takes a moment to look across the three party members and just runs her fingers through her hair for a moment before going over to Colton and then kneeling down beside him. She does the same thing, putting her hand on your shoulder.
Colton, flinches heavily when she touches him, but his eyes don't stray from the body of Adis. His hands are shaking slightly, but he's barely even, breathing.
I'm not gonna hit you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
He
Okay.
He continues to stare ahead, not really responding.
Unfortunately, Kaylee's not a good people person. So she doesn't have the right words to say. She just rubs your shoulder, trying to console you a little bit. And Colton, as you look at Ada's, you just see his lifeless body, a lot of blood going down his chest. It stopped bleeding now, but you can still see the wound and just the still wet blood there. You breathe heavy, and then you notice that his eyes are glowing like a light blue. Just slightly. Something you've never seen before, just slightly.
Colton just kind of stares into that light, trying to focus on it. Although it's kind of hard. It's as if the world around him is falling apart and he's trying very hard to stay focused on that.
You guys need a rest. Oh, if you need a rest. Come on, we should get to that campsite. No, let us rest there. Make a plan in the morning. You see none of you guys get up. She just sighs. I'm sorry this all happened to you all. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Just shut up and just let us take. Can we just take a break? So we can just grieve and deal with what just happened.
She goes to say something, but then she stops and she rubs her eyebrows. Yes.
He's gonna go back to his cigarette.
Atan sits up and he takes out the wing set that he hasn't touched since the last time he actually tried it, which was in a forest, I believe. And he starts working on it. He takes out his tools and does the best he can to repair it. With just the tools he has on him right now.
Roll me an intelligence check.
He's really just doing it to get his mind off of things, but I will do that one moment. It's gonna be a 9.
Yeah, your mind is way too distracted for this.
He doesn't give up though. He just keeps working on it until he tires of it and goes back to laying and staring at the sky.
You guys stay there for a while, just seeing the sky move above you and thinking and grieving and wondering what the fuck happened. Kaylee just stands there for a moment, just unsure of how to help, if she even can. After a couple minutes just watching you guys grieve, she just goes through her backpack and pulls out this circular stone and begins walking away, putting it up to her mouth and starting, hey, and keeps walking away until she's out of sight and out of earshot. And eventually, you guys just pass out one at a time, from just pure exhaustion. And you wake up in the morning. You get a short rest. And there are 7 dawns left. While you guys are still asleep, a certain half-breed walks through the forest. Oshana, you see a large dent in the mountainside, and you see smoke and dust coming from this gigantic, immense wall, something of size you could never even fathom before. And you come to the scene of 3 sleeping people and a dead body. What would you like to do?
Is it the middle of the night?
It is early morning.
Early morning?
You get up bright and early.
I'll gently walk up. And if they're all asleep, I'll just take a seat on the ground nearby. Probably just staying about 10 feet back.
All right.
And I'll just let
You're,
them come to wake naturally.
I will roll for it. Atan, you are the first to wake up. You wake up in the morning. Your emotions still frazzled, and you wake up tired. You wake up exhausted. Your eyes kind of hurt. But you look around and you hug your mongoose a bit. Before your eyes fall on a stranger sitting on a rock just 10 feet away. Shauna, would you like to describe yourself?
Sitting there before you is a creature with thick, coarse ram horns and the face of a wolf. Her face shows wrinkles with a snow-white fleece running from beneath her chin all the way down to a scraggly, fluffy neckline. She sits there in a robe and takes a long, slow breath in through a long, slender tobacco pipe, and then just exhales, letting the plume just waft up.
Well, that is what you see when you awaken.
Atan is staring. He's not moving for anything. His mongoose is in his arms, and he's just kind of staring. He's silent for a while.
You can see this creature just looks back at you, and although odd in appearance, has a certain softness of gaze and relaxed eyes that have seen many years.
She's in another dream, right?
You have suffered loss, it appears. Are you awake?
I think I am.
I think you are too. Is this your gesturing towards Adis? Is this a friend of yours? Were they a friend?
Yes. And it's not the only friend we lost.
She takes a long breath in and lets the smoke plume waft out from both sides of her mouth and out the nostrils. My condolences to you.
What did you come for? You come passerby, maybe, and stop. Most people wouldn't stop. Is there something you need?
Passerby, I suppose I am. I can see pain when it is present. And here I can tell it is.
Sometimes I wonder if it wouldn't hurt as much if it had happened before.
No, no, it does not get. It does not get better. It just is. You will find peace again in time, but the loss of one close to you is. It is never easier. You just must take the time. Every time.
I wish I knew the reason.
Reason? What reason do you seek?
The reason it ended up like this. We all came looking for a wish, albeit a hopeless wish. All with the same dream, though. A vague one. To change something. Maybe about ourselves, maybe about our life, maybe about something we had experienced. But somehow we all ended up in different ways.
Life does not always go in a straight line. In fact, very rarely, very unusual for life to go in a straight line the way you are looking. There needs not be a reason for the way things are. Often they simply are. There's no way you can go back and redo. You take what you have. Even in loss, you take what is left you have, and you build from there.
Atan goes quiet.
I'm sorry, I'm a stranger to you.
Strangers' words are better than no words.
She takes another breath into her pipe and lets the smoke waft up. Excuse me. Please pardon me. I am Oshana. And you might be...
My name is Atan.
Atan. That is a good name. It's full of heart.
And I'm Kaylee, and you see behind you, walking up behind you in a defensive stance, but without a weapon wielding, but her hand on a hilt, is Kaylee. Of course, Oshana, you've never seen her before. What's another human?
Oh. Hello. Greetings. Kaylee?
What do you want here? Who are you? Oshana.
I am simply one traveling through. I could see there was quite the hurt here. And where there is hurt, I wish I could help. I'm not saying I will take away your hurt, but that is not possible. However, I have seen much in my day. And I cannot ignore those who are hurting.
As have I. I've seen people die right in front of me. She slowly circles around you to get closer to the party. So you mean no harm, then?
Of course not. Why would... It would be quite dastardly to bring harm to those who have already been harmed. And that I cannot do. From deep within my soul. Bringing harm to any others is difficult, much less to those who are already hurt.
Quite noble of you. Kaylee makes her way to Chance, who she leans down and shakes the shoulder of. Her other hand still on her hilt, just in case. So Chance, you slowly wake up.
Ah! Oh, God. I thought I was being chased by dragons. Where's this? They're breathing fire. He looks up.
You're alright.
Oh.
You have a visitor. You're alright.
Holy fuzzy! What is that? He like grabs his sword.
Sorry for the surprise.
Who are you?
I am... I am Oshana. I would say I am passerby, but thinking about it, passers-by keep walking. I am passer-stay.
He looked to Kaylee like, what is she talking about? But he doesn't say that, just with his eyes.
Kaylee just nods.
Nice to meet you. My name is Bo. Just Bo. And only that.
Hello, it is nice to meet you as well, Bo Just Bo.
And I guess I would kind of look over to the still sleeping Colton.
How dare? How
Sorry.
dare?
That's a compliment,
Hey,
bro.
You're both adorable blue kobolds. I'm sorry I get you mixed up sometimes.
One wears glasses, the other does not. How about that?
I know.
Boom.
The only difference between the two. The one is a capable wizard and the other, like, ugh, he's trying. Bless his heart.
Colton, you could wake up as well.
I could. You're right.
You wake up as well. How about that?
Yeah. Colton just kind of like, he opens his eyes and starts to sit up. He kind of like looks around, looking very, very tired, but he doesn't really speak.
Look, this sheep wolf aside, Gilly goes to her finger, like one of her hands, where she has a ring on it, takes it off. I have this for you three. I have always had this. I rarely use it. This is a ring of mind altering. It can cast a spell called Modify Memory at will. It's been within 24 hours of what happened. This ring can change the perception of a memory to what the caster wants. It could make you remember something in absolute purity, and it can erase it. Just remove it. You still have the memories before that. Just an event in the last 24 hours. You can create a memory too. Woodpecker in the distance. If you want this to be used on you, say the word. But there's not much time to decide. Probably have, let's say 12 hours just to be safe. 12 hours. She puts a ring back on her finger. Any takers right now?
Bo will just shake his head, light a cigarette.
And she looks to you, Colton.
Colton doesn't really respond. He's starting to like looking around again a bit, but he doesn't speak.
Then she looks to Atan.
What? I heard my name. Sorry.
Do
I
you want your memory to be modified?
No.
Okay. Alright.
You hear a ticking sound off to the side. As you see this long, slender tobacco pipe being tapped against the rock. And then taking a pinch and refilling it.
Kelly just ignores this. I know you guys need to grieve, and I'm sorry, and I know that you guys need time, but time is not a luxury that we have right now. There's not a lot of time. We need to decide what we're doing.
out of character. I don't want to be indecent, but where is the body of Adis right now?
Leaning up against a tree.
I have a question actually.
Okay, Mr. Deadman.
Did they pick up Starpiercer, or is it
I'll
left
say yeah.
somewhere? Okay.
You would have been on your body.
But the other magic weapon, I can't remember what it's called. It's lost forever.
Frontier? Yeah, that one's gone.
Volunteer.
Mjolnir ripoff? Yeah, it's gone.
Well, it would seem, this is in character, that the first order of business would be to make a grave.
We could try to find someone to bring him back to life. That's the whole reason why I was adamant about getting the body. That's possible now in
What?
this time of magic.
Where?
That's the problem. It's you need to find a powerful cleric for that, and there's not a lot of magic users up here in Faviste. That's the problem with it. But it's possible. However, there's a time limit for a lot of these things. The more time that you wait, the more powerful the cleric has to be.
Okay. I guess, yeah, maybe you should have said that earlier. I mean, I suppose there's nothing we can do for nothing.
We don't have the body for that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We should probably try to head into town. Or wherever you're going to lead us.
That's the thing. I don't have a destination.
Well,
The clerics that I know are too far away. Too far away. They're down south.
look, we're already here. We need to get inside the town to deal with the fucking wizard, and maybe they'll have a church or something that can help us. I don't know. Or we can at least find information. But I think we have a fucking right to go inside. You know, this stupid dwarven city that we defended with our lives.
At that, Kaylee kind of smirks a bit. She walks over, puts a hand on your shoulder momentarily, and just goes, "Now you're thinking." Takes it off and goes, "Alright, well, that's a plan, but we need a way to into the city. And with that avalanche, rock lanch, whatever you want to fucking call it, the way into the city is most likely blocked. That's the next problem. My contacts, unfortunately can't help as they're busy dealing with other things. So, and at that moment, you guys see a blue glow coming towards you guys from the mountain. Not the path that you guys took, farther up the mountain, coming towards you guys nonetheless. Another path, the light, and you see a strange thing. You see this large serpentine-ish creature with 6 legs. Like bulky, massive, black serpentine creature with 6 legs. Almost draconic as well. You're not sure, but more serpentine. Just a mixture. With a large blindfold on his head. And riding on top of it, holding this large torch with a blue flame from it, is a dwarf. and he's about 100. He's about 300 feet away. But you hear his voice echo. A sign from the shattered mother has reached our ears. Who goes there?
What did he say? Haley.
I think he said a sign from the shattered mother has been heard. Something like that.
Okay, what does that mean?
She just shrugs and like puts her hand on her hilt.
I shrug too. Does he do
Who
anything?
goes ye?
The Bucket Brigade? I say kind of like it's a question.
The fucking Bucket Brigade? You're echoing across.
Yeah?
Alright! Give me a moment! And you see the large lizard-like creature being rode by this dwarf hops landing with a smash.
I try my
Dwarf approaches and you see the actual size of this lizard-like creature, and it's strange. It's wearing this mask. Like it's enough that like it's blind. It can't see, but it's still being led with precision. And still riding atop this beast. Now close up to you guys. We have gotten a sign from the shattered mother. I am Dwark Greyclaw, and he views a sign with the Star Child. I see him here. And he takes a moment just to like look at the body of Adis. Come, follow me, we shall take him back to the monastery.
Alright. Yeah, go.
Oshana stands and says, I'm feeling to accompany you, if that is okay.
With us. Might not.
Awkward silence. No response. So, does everyone go with the dwarf?
Sorry, my
Oh,
Guys,
he
internet is
died.
going
Yeah,
broke.
just give him a minute.
Guy died. Rip. Well, we'll just
not
we can-
again.
Hmm.
He
No, he's
just
gonna make another
died. He lives
Rest in peace.
again.
A lot of internet issues going around today.
Yeah.
Guy has been resurrected. He lives again.
Yay.
Frax was having issues earlier than I was, and then I'm having issues, and now a guy. Who's
Me
next?
and Aaron
Oh,
are
okay.
next.
No, I don't want issues.
Hey, Hollow
I don't either.
issues too.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Anyway.
was there something that was said to me? Or...
Yeah, so Bo sort of sidles up to you awkwardly. Okay, so first of all, Atan said, "Come with us," and then after that, Bo sidled up to you and he's like, what are you smoking in there?" Putting you on the spot to make up some sort of tobacco brand on the spot.
A Cuban.
Some strain.
This is. It's just it is what you smoke. It's just the plant that you smoke.
Oh. Yeah. You seem pretty cool. Yeah, I think you should come with us.
Yeah, I will. I would much appreciate the company.
Started.
Alright, the dwarf jumps down and, without asking, grabs the body of Adis, heaves him up, and then throws him onto the back of this lizard-like creature. And then climbs up himself. The saddle of this has like a ladder on it for him to get up on. And he gets up, and with the torch, he walks off, and he leaves you guys.
Also, you notice when Ashana stands, she stands about 6'3", a little on the tall side.
Very tall sheep wolf boy. A wolf in sheep's clothing! Oh my god.
Oh my
She-wolf
God.
Girl.
Guy is okay. The word guy. Is a
Okay, I got it.
okay?
I get it.
I understand. It is the gender neutral guy.
It's gender
Yeah, it's like
neutral.
dude. It's like
Very
dude
much.
is gender neutral. The
Ah,
word
yes,
dude
we
is
use that
gender
all the
neutral.
time.
Yeah.
Back where I'm
yes.
from.
Anyway, getting off topic. You guys go on this new path. The journey mostly silent. And about an hour in, Kaylee walks up next to you and just goes, "Do you still have the box?"
Maybe. What kind of question is
yes.
that? I mean, no, I dropped it. I left it somewhere.
That's what I was asking. It's
Do you
very
really
important.
think? Do you really think I would? Look at me. I'm not that much of an idiot, okay? I understand the importance of this. I'm not just gonna forget it.
Bo checks his pockets and it's not
What do you
there.
take me for? Oh my god, no fuck. Hey, I have a lot of pockets. I know exactly where I stored this. No one else has any clue, but I know exactly which pocket it is. And I'm sure I check it often. But yes, I will check it right now just to make sure it's there. In case she stole it from me, because I would not put it past her to steal it from me in my sleep.
You check and it's gone.
Seriously, Kaylee? I cheered to her. Really?
And she just hands it back to you.
Well, I mean, just keep it now. I mean, it obviously doesn't matter where I put it. You're gonna find it. It's not mine to have anyway, right? It's part of your property of your secret organization. Grumble, grumble.
It's property of no one's, honestly. It's, who fucking knows what it is, honestly. But
Well, would it be the property of the person who like completes the prophecy or whatever is entailed in opening it?
maybe.
Do you want to open it, or is what's inside like something really dangerous that shouldn't be open?
I don't know what's inside.
Does anyone know?
And she just shakes her head.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I have been very curious, it's kind of like it could be anything. It could be anything you ever dreamed of, ever wanted, ever imagined. Like 100
It's the world's biggest
billion.
game of what's behind the curtain. I mean, what could
What's
be in
that
a
from?
box that's...
I'm not familiar with that game. But yes, I get the idea.
But just, like, what could be so important? Like,
Yeah.
a box made out of such
I
material
mean,
enchanted in
this-
such a way.
I'm not sure if you know, like, there were a lot of guards guarding this thing. Like, it took a lot of skill to steal this. I'm pretty proud of myself. So it must be something important if they're willing to, sure no one could get their hands on it.
It's very important.
Anyway, I guess there's no point in speculating. Well, if we ever find out what's inside, we'll find out. If not, we'll not. Yeah, you can hang on to it. Obviously, there's no point.
No, you
Probably
hand
take
on
better
to it. I was just,
All right. Yeah, just being you, huh?
keep it on the side of your dominant hand. That usually makes it that you pay attention more to that side more.
I
Subconscious.
will actively search for the best pocket to keep this item in on the right side of my body.
Cool. You do that.
And that is where I will store it, and I'm going to constantly check it from now on.
Got it.
Anyway, that's my turn. I'm going to leave it there.
And Chance, I got a question
Yeah.
out of game. Did
Out
you
of
ever
game?
Did you ever tell Kaylee about your dad? I don't
I know that like you leave well enough alone, but I never really mentioned it to her.
Okay.
no.
I just wanted to lighten the mood a bit. Not really good at it, but
Well, you did, so I appreciate it.
look, and she glances over to Shauna. Bo. I know loss is new to you, and honestly something that no one should go through, but happens. But I think how you're handling it today, and what you've been doing, all things considered, I do think your dad would be proud of you.
Oh. Dad. Yeah,
I know it's
Sir,
probably
thanks.
important to you.
Yeah. So the thing is that like And during the time when we weren't talking to each other, and I was kind of really mad at you, I kind of told my dad about the box, and he said he was gonna try to hunt you down and get it from you. I don't know. I mean, probably is a long way from here, so that's.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, my dad's a like kind of a master thief. I mean, maybe not as good as me because I did steal this thing, which was really hard to get. But he's a pretty good thief.
Bo.
And
Bo.
yeah, what?
Your father is dead.
No, he's not. I just like saw him. I don't know, like a week ago. Not even that. I mean, wait a minute. Did he fake his own death, or did he? Did you hear a rumor he was dead? I mean, he could be dead. Trying to backtrack, like trying to figure out like what the hell he knows.
He died. I'm certain of that.
When?
11 years ago?
How would you know?
She just goes silent.
He waits.
I did research on you, like everyone else.
Huh?
And I went far on you. I don't know who this was that you saw. Because I can't.
I know she's really good at this, but I have to fucking make an insight check to see if she's lying to
Go
me.
for
Or,
it.
like, I feel like I'm being gaslighted here. Like, I thought my character knew. Like, he recognized his own dad. All right.
You're not sure.
Can I remember what he looked like?
Yeah, you
I
can.
mean,
Yeah.
he looked like my dad. Like, what exactly are you saying, Kaylee? Are you saying that someone who morphed into the shape of my dad and pretended to be him? I
Maybe.
mean, that's crazy. Why? What reason?
He was skilled at his job, and he did a lot of things that put him on a lot of people's radars.
No, this is. No, you're just like everyone else. You're trying to tell me my dad's dead. I saw him. He was still alive. I don't believe you, Kaylee. I don't know why you're trying to convince me of this, but no, my dad's alive.
I
You know what? Forget it. I just thought you should know that he was like looking for the box, but if you don't want to believe me, just talking to ghosts or whatever.
I'm sorry for bringing it up. And she slows her walking pace to make distance between you and her.
fucking liar. Dad didn't die 11 years ago. Why?
You guys continue along the path. Colton, what are you doing?
Walking. He is not doing much, man.
Shauna eventually works her way to walking next to Colton. I am sorry, my child. I see that this one was dear to you.
Colton kind of manages a glance to the newcomer, but he doesn't say anything.
It is okay to feel the way you feel. Take your time. And she lets the distance grow a little bit between them again.
Alright. You guys continue along the path. You're going far up the mountain, farther than you've ever gone before. But you're not going along the southern side. You're wrapping up around the entire mountain to get to the northern side. You're going into the actual full mountains. The actual range. Getting higher and higher until there's snow. Like, not just patches of snow. You had patches of snow before. Full snow. In the last week of summer. You continue onwards. You eventually get to an area where the ground begins to not flatten out per se, but smoothen. We are approaching the entrance to Snow Ohio. This is the northern entrance into Wittenjord. You guys are lucky to be allies of the Star Child. Not too many get to see this northern gate.
What is this Star Child?
The Dragon Spawn. Riding on Thursden currently, just behind me.
This one.
Yes.
Funny, he never told us.
I'll turn towards the Star Child. Your Very kind. Thank you.
Starchild does not say anything. Starchild is dead.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the dragon thing that he rode over on.
No, he's
No.
talking about Adis.
Adis.
Oh,
yeah.
about Adis. Gotcha.
Adis is the star child, and that's why he's resurrecting you.
Okay. I misunderstood.
So, Bo, as you say that, Goddess Greyclaw. He probably does not know himself. He was taken by one of our own when he was just an egg. Travesty. But we've claimed him back now. By sign of the Shattered Mother herself.
Chance is just kind of like smiling and nodding, like only understanding half the what the fuck this strange dwarf is saying to him. Because he doesn't know about this religion shit, but he's like, yeah, of course, yeah.
We are the followers of an old religion. Lost to time now. We worship the Shattered Mother, otherwise known as Solace. Gone, shattered across the stars. She makes the starscape that you see every day. Adis, yeah, is her chosen. That's why she's so important to us. That's why she's so important to the cause. That's why we received a sign from the cosmos herself. We are the Greyclaw.
Can you really bring him back?
We will certainly try. But he shan't not worry then. Because when that's done, none of you will see him again. He is in care of the Greyclaw clan then.
Okay. He doesn't like want to fight them on this. He's just like being agreed. Okay.
God has no opposition.
I
It makes
mean,
it difficult.
I mean, I'm just happy that he's gonna be alive again. I mean, that's I guess enough for me. If he wants to stay with you guys, I mean, sure.
You won't have any choice in the matter. He needs to fulfill his purpose, as chosen by the gods themselves.
Ah. Mm-hmm. And what's that?
Don't human me. Don't patronize me. We're almost there.
He tries to change the subject. Nice day for it. Just make small talk the rest of the way so it's not too awkward.
I suppose.
It probably just makes it more awkward.
Yeah, it kind of does.
That's pretty much all he does. He's just like making small talk. Like, just like, he doesn't want to talk about their beliefs or bullshit anymore. He just if they're willing to raise him, like that's all he cares about right now. Everything else can like come after.
After traveling for the entire day, taking few breaks, you guys come to a glacier, a flat glacier. We then travel back southwards to the peak, where you see this large stone entrance. Another entrance into Wittenjude. And along this glacier, this flat expanse in the mountain range, in the Spirituet Mountains, you see hundreds of giant skulls, swords pressed into the ice, gigantic axes the size of wagons, the size of a wagon, helmets the size of a house, just weaponry and armor and skeletal remains of giants across this entire expanse. Like there's been hundreds of battles waged here. And as you approach the great gate, you see this essentially an entire armada armed to the teeth, ready for anything to happen. But you see gaps in them, as it seems that their forces are scattered currently. There's this large wooden gate. At this point, the dwarf switches from Lumen into his native language of Gemric, and you guys have no idea what he is saying. As he yells up to the guards holding his blue torch, and after only seconds of delegation, the door begins to open. What's all of your guys' passive perceptions?
17.
12, 13.
11.
17.
Why does the artificer have the same fucking... Anyway.
Because his wisdom is really high and his intelligence is really low. And that's why we love him, because he's useless as... No, I'm just kidding.
No, real.
No, but really, you should use your crossbow. Like, I didn't even know you had one. Like, that's awesome. Use your crossbow more often. But no, yeah, you're fine.
So, the artificer and Oshana. So, Atan and Oshana. As you guys are beginning to enter, you guys look behind you and you see the next mountain peak northwards. And you see, just poking their heads up above the snowy ridge, are at least 100 armored helmets of giants peeking over. A battalion. And you glance like, oh fuck. And you guys enter into the city of Wittenjude.
Those are some large people back there. I've never seen a person that big.
Is people really the right term?
I'm not sure.
Wow! Wow, Bo!
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Wow,
No,
Bo!
I'm sorry. I apologize. That...
Everyone go cancel Bo. Everyone go cancel Bo on Twitter.com.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Sure. No, my phone's dead. I would actually tweet.
Hey,
Hashtag
he is the
cancel Bo.
he's the token human of the group. He has to be the racist one. Come on.
I mean, lore-wise, that makes sense.
Well, I really feel like that's something that you would say. Just because he is kind of a dick. I don't know.
And Ashana just like, I'm not sure. Are they people of some sort?
You know, we probably shouldn't get into it. We'll talk about this later, Rashad.
Okay.
Welcome to Vittenjude, the Dwarven City. You enter into Snorhereo, aka the Snow District. This district of Vittenjude is icy and covered in snow. The walls are essentially ice or permafrost, a mixture of both, and the buildings here are mostly militaristic. And you see many, many, many more of those strange lizard creatures with 6 legs around, just gigantic, enormous. And a lot of these have like steel barding on them, ready for war. And in passing, you guys are able to learn what they're called. These are basilisks. They are all wearing blindfolds. This is the top district of Vittenjude. You guys have to go down a large elevator lift to go to where you're going. You get there. This lift, 50 by 50 feet square, enormous, and you see other dwarves like piling on there, and other basilisks getting on there as well. And everyone is looking at you, but do not question it, as you are being led by this dwarf with a blue torch, wearing different clothing, almost official looking, when compared to the other dwarves there. He is respected here. Or at least something that he is a part of is respected here. And you see operating this gigantic lift is none other than one of those basilisks, standing on its 4 legs and using the front 2 legs to turn a gigantic lever that raises and lowers this lift. You guys get on, and you are lowered. You slowly go down and down. Hear the clanging of iron and the rushing of water as you pass another district. Not your location, not your destination, but another district nonetheless. A flat cavern filled with rushing water, different streams, but you see that people around here are yelling and struggling, and structures are being made quickly as the water level is rising drastically and quickly, threatening to spill over into the lower districts, a result of the collapse earlier. The water here is blue and green and almost serene. It's nice, and there's a strange glow as mushrooms on the shores of these glow blue. And you continue downwards. And you reach your main district. You reach Ferro Herrero, aka the top district, or the main district. Imagine a plateau underground. As surrounding this plateau is just a pit that circles around it. But this plateau is ginormous. Thousands of feet to side, to the point where you're not even sure if the pit that surrounds it goes around the entire thing, but you can guess so. And you see ginormous houses. The majority of these buildings, it's not a bunch of small buildings, rather it's a bunch of large houses. Like skyscrapers that go off into the sky. And the sky being a cavern ceiling. There's an endless amount of roads, amount of pulley systems, people walking, talking, busy. This is a city. You've been in Dovengard, and Dovengard was a large town at best. This is a city. Going as far as the eye can see, both up and down and horizontal plane. You see many different things here. You see a ginormous palace. That is stone. And you see from the ceiling, hanging by ginormous chains the size of a castle, is a hanging coliseum, just hanging from the ceiling. And you see farther into the ridge, into the Spiribit Mountains, deeper and deeper, this district goes into nothing. Like, you can see the cavern walls on 3 sides of this district. But on one side, it just goes into blackness. And you're heading into that direction. You walk for another hour just to get there. Pass by a large amount of buildings, and you see dwarven culture. As you see a mini battle go on between 2 clans, them killing each other in the street as if it doesn't matter, as it's just common day. You see that again. It seems battles waged between clans are normal here. There's not much of a guard system here. It's more just fend for yourself. Their weaponry and their armor is exquisite, more advanced than anything any of you has seen. Though they prefer to use a melee approach, using large, ginormous hammers and ginormous swords that are way too big for their size, but are used nonetheless. Yeah, there's people just killing each other in the street like it's nothing. Read Dwarven lore in the World's Capsule. It's cool.
This is different.
Sure have a lot of culture here. He tries to say neutrally.
And you guys continue onwards. The architecture is a lot of squares. It's very angular and exact, but also there's a beauty in the exactness and the precision, as nearly every structure in this place is just teeming with artwork and age. You can tell a high majority of these buildings have been destroyed, rebuilt, destroyed, rebuilt, destroyed, rebuilt over hundreds of years. Longer than human civilization. This city has been here for centuries. Its own little ecosystem. Wars have been waged within the houses, the walls of the city. There's been times of peace in the city. There's been times of plague, of famine, calamity, great success, all in this city. Like it's its own nation, and it is. You guys continue onwards until you reach one of the oldest and largest buildings of Wittenjude. A ginormous palace that sits on the edge of a precipice, a cliff into nothing. This is the side where there's just nothing, just expanse, just air. And you look upon it, and those with dark vision, it's pretty much impossible to see, but on the ceiling there's like the odd glowing mushroom that lets you see a little bit. And you see there is a ground to this, hundreds of feet below, and it just seems like just ruins, just ragged, jagged rocks and cliffs and ruins at the base of this pit. It just goes on until you can't see longer. And you see from the ceiling, hanging above this pit, are gigantic chains just dangling broken. Hundreds of them. And this monastery is at the edge of it. In fact, you see a bridge right next to it that goes into the pit before stopping, crumbled halfway through. That bow reminds you of the sky bridge back at home. And at the end of that bridge, you see another lift going into the abyss. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Okay.
Yay, break time.
I probably should have asked for one earlier. My brain power is dying. I didn't process any of that. I need a rundown.
Dwarven city. Big
We made it.
buildings. Kill each other because clan warfare. Pit with chains and ruins. A lift going there. Boom.
Praise the
Caveman
monastery.
explanation. Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you. That's better. That's process better than any of those words, except for the killing people one.
Are like these
No, I mean like I
blue-
processed that part. I didn't process anything else.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. There's also like these blue dragons that like perform
What?
menial tasks for them. Well, what are they? They're blue
Basilisks.
serpent dragons.
I said
Oh,
their name were basilisks.
basilisks.
Basilisks. Yeah.
So they're like
Wow.
blue snakes then?
No, they're
That
black.
are-
They're
Black. Oh.
they're kind of like they're like fat and big.
Oh my god! You need to
and they
post a
have- they
picture.
have-
I cannot.
They have 6 legs, and they have like the big
That-
meaty tail
that-
behind them.
That is not a basilisk.
It is in my world.
I don't know what's going on.
You need to draw a picture of this because I cannot.
In my world, it's a basilisk. Hits smashes desk.
I don't know what's going on. My brain is only processing caveman right
There's
now.
a whole.
Yeah.
The
Look up.
homebrew DM is
no.
God.
Look up. Look up Basilisk D&D. Like, they're
that's what it does.
actually they're in here. They're 8-legged creatures.
In Austrian folklore, at least, a basilisk is what happens when a rooster lays an egg and a frog, whatever you call it, when something sits on the egg until it hatches. And it looks like a rooster with, I think, some snake features, and it breathes fire and turns people into stone.
Well, in Harry Potter, a basilisk is-
I have a question.
Wait, just a second. Are we in break?
All right. Yeah. Let's go to break officially. Okay.
Break. Okay. What's the question there? Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome back to the Hidden Event. We're gonna get right back into it because we don't have that much time before we end it. We only have 34 minutes till we have to end it, so we're gonna get back into it. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, we got Baby Dragon Dice in the Discord chat. Real little Baby Dragon. Anyway, I'm a master dungeon master, as you can see. You guys approach this enormous monastery. And you notice as you approach, there's a ginormous crowd outside of it. Of all dwarves, you have only seen other dwarves when entering the city. You have not seen a single other race. I will also say, something I forgot to mention, is that you've also seen slaves being used. Just dwarven slaves, dwarves enslaving dwarves. You've seen that happening here.
Lots of culture.
Lots of
Lots
culture.
of culture going on here.
And you even see that particular hierarchy class of witch and Jude at the monastery as well being used. And you guys approach. Doric places the torch down on the ground just for one of the dwarves just to run over and pick it up. And he goes, "My children, the sign from the Shattered Mother spoke true. We have found the Star Child." And the entire crowd just goes fucking nuts. Cheering, screaming, crying. Just ecstatic. I have brought his companions. From what I see, they were close to each other. They are worthy of a night of rest, of a reprisal. Watch the ceremony before we can begin our operation. To save the Shattered Mother, once and for all. Now, Fitch, Goddess Greyclaw, where are you? And you see one of them step forward. Prepare the revival ritual, Goddess. Nods and rushes away. Now, everyone prepare. You, Alana. And then a female dwarf puts her head up in utmost respect immediately. Take care of his companions, why don't you? Yeah, yes, sir. Good. And then, with Adis's body still riding the basilisk, he walks into the large doors of the monastery, them closing behind him. And the rest of the dwarves funnel in different doorways, going about their business, rushing, excited. Except for the female dwarf, she has blonde hair and even a beard. A thin one, a short one. She walks up to you guys and goes, "Hello, I am Ulana of the Greyclaw clan. And who are all of you?"
Silence, Gober.
Together, I mean, most of us are. We're the Bucket Brigade. And Bo.
The Bucket Brigade?
Yeah, that's what we call ourselves.
Alright,
I'm Bo. This is Atan. Bolton. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. He says, looking at the sheep.
No, please. We have only recently met. It is okay. I am Oshana.
I'm here as well. Kaylee says, raising up a hand. Oh,
Yeah, she's not really part of the Bucket Brigade. She's just kind of like here for now.
if I lead about you, yeah, then you have worth being here.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about this the Star Child? Because I don't think he's been forthcoming to us about that.
The Star Child has been missing for 2 decades.
And who is he exactly?
He is the child of Solace, the Shattered Mother. Not many people know of her anymore, so I wouldn't be surprised if you don't know who that is.
Just to double check, what's the spelling on that?
Solace?
Like the word?
There.
Fuck, that's almost the same name as a character I already have.
I already
It's the name
knew.
of a character. It's the name of a character in Dragon Age, I think. It's a high elf. Anyway. So basically, he's supposed to be brought back to life so he could stay here forever and heal the Shattered Mother? Was it just
No,
that?
he's going to be trained and given his purpose. Our clan were not given a chance to teach him his purpose in life, the thing he was created to do, and that was to put back together the Shattered Mother.
Yeah, that's what I said. Heal, whatever, put back together. He needs to stay here so he can bring her back, more or less.
Yes.
And how long have you guys known this? This is a whole religion?
The Greyclaw clan has been in operation for around 6 centuries. But we lost many of our members in the Act of Severance when magic was severed from the world 4 centuries ago. But our masters, our leaders, have kept us head fast even when we lost members over the centuries. But in the past 5 decades, we have been able to gain hope. When magic was returned, we were able to contact our god and create this plan to put her back together.
Shauna lowers her pipe for a moment. You say 5 decades ago magic returned.
She just nods.
Perhaps coincidence, perhaps not.
What do you
Never
mean?
mind. Well, I come from not nearby. I come from far away.
You all do look very strange.
I remember that day. I wasn't sure if it was just me or not.
Well, I don't remember. I'm too young for that. Some of our members remember that day. Our leader does.
It is interesting. I am thankful for the information. It is intriguing. She takes another puff of her pipe.
Who were all of you to the Star Child? Who were you to him?
Just a traveling companion, I guess. Speaking for myself.
Ashana raises an eyebrow.
You alright? And Olana glances down at the kobold.
Colton just kind of looks up. He kind of like opens his mouth to speak, but he closes it.
Well, I was tasked with showing you guys around. Is anything you'd like to know about the city? Or anything more about our teachings, our ways?
Yeah, where do you keep the food?
Inside.
Okay.
You'd fit in with the dwarves.
I mean, it's just we haven't eaten a while. No, yeah, more like half.
Well, come with me inside. We'll get you some food. Alita said you could rest for the night.
Okay.
Alright, and you guys are led inside. This monastery is massive. And the ceilings are low, so Ashana, you have to duck your head the entire time you're walking.
I'm a little bit slouched anyway, so I'm just slouching a bit more.
And you guys continue on. There's interconnecting network of hallways in this monastery, and Alana knows exactly where she's going. Like, she was born in this building. And you guys are led to a large dwarven hall with a long table going down it, where you see it's currently empty. because all the other members of the monastery are making preparations. But the moment you guys sit down and food is brought to you, but you hear nothing about the status of Adis or what's happening. But Alana just stands onto a wall as you guys eat. The food here is strange. I mean, there's meat and crops and stuff. You can tell that like they ate normal food. Like they had agriculture and stuff outside. That's why they had that large district outside of the wall, so they could grow crops and raise cattle. There's also strange food added inside of it. A lot of mushrooms. Like you see the same glowing mushrooms that you had before, like you saw before, like glowing on the ceiling, on the ground. They're being served to you, as well as other different types of mushrooms and strange meat that has like a purplish hue to it that you're not sure where it comes from, like what animal it comes from. It tastes good though, and you get this purplish drink with it as well, a type of wine. This is Witch and Jude mushroom ale. Or mushroom wine, you can call it either.
I indulge in the mushrooms, but I pass on the meat.
Alright.
I mean, I think my character is happy for some alcohol, so he's gonna, probably drink a couple glasses of that wine.
Yeah, the mushroom ale is fucking strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
He's
Yeah,
going
dwarves.
to indulge. Of course,
I am,
dwarves, yes.
Yep, I'm holding to that cliche.
He's gonna try to like eat enough like food to like kind of counterbalance it as much as he can for humans.
Yeah, that's hard to
possible.
do.
I know. I just understand. Just saying. I'm happy to roll a Constitution check if I have to. Yeah, he's gonna have a couple glasses.
Kaylee does not drink, and she just eats the food that she knows what it is. Colton and Atan, what are you doing?
I think Colton just wants to sleep, so he's just kind of vibing right now, not really doing all that much.
Same for a ton. I mean, he's not doing too much. He's just kind of sitting around.
Alright, as the rest of the party eats. Colton, you hear Kaylee, who sat next to you, just kind of pipe up a little, just lightly, and just goes, "You need to try to eat, honey. Just a little bit."
He kind of like looks up at her and he manages very quietly. Okay.
She just like rubs your back. You can't be hurting yourself. You can't be. I don't know Adis that well, but I know that he would want you to eat. So please eat.
I'll try, although I don't have much of an appetite.
Just, I know you don't. Just try to eat a little. Alright?
Okay.
You can do it.
He'll uh he'll kind of like think for a few moments. He still feels pretty just disoriented, and he'll give it a shot. He'll try and eat just a little bit.
As you eat a little bit, you feel like a light pat on your back of reassurance and support from Kaylee. She didn't say anything, but you can tell that she's essentially insinuating, like, good job.
Mhm.
And as you force yourself to, just pats you on the shoulder, and then puts her head up to face Alana and goes to ask some questions of her own. I won't go over that because, it's not really fun listening to two NPCs ask questions. But she asks, like, I saw people out there killing themselves. Is our safety guaranteed here? And Alana will say that the Grey Claw clan has a lot of influence and respect here. You guys are completely safe here. And about room arrangements, you guys will be given rooms for the night, but only one night. And Kaylee asks how we are going to leave Whittington, and that they will escort you out in the morning. And she asks when the ceremony is going to be, and that's any minute now. Anything?
Are we allowed to be present for this ceremony?
Master wanted you to. He said so. So yes.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Okay. Well, I guess we should, if it's any minute, we should go.
We'll be alerted.
Okay.
You can finish your food.
Goes back to food.
And after a couple minutes, you hear a ding dong ding dong ding dong ding dong, a bell resonating through the entire monastery. And you guys rise in your led to, Bo stumbling a bit, a large, almost like a Senate chamber, with dozens and dozens of chairs and benches, all pointing towards a central point. And there you see the body of Adis. Stood up into a standing position, his head like hanging to the side, like a ceremony. And Dorlock Grey Claw is there right next to him, as well as Gardus, the other dwarf that you heard by name, wearing ceremonious black and white robes with large purple mantles, and they're each wearing purple metal helmets with one point pointed towards the sky. And after a couple months of people settling down and watching, everyone quiet as a mouse, Dorak begins. You have all been gathered here today, as we have had our star child returned to us. We found him after a message from our God was sent to us, to the Holy Blue Fire itself. And after a quick look, I discovered him and brought him home. Unfortunately, our child was killed by a circumstance unknown to us. But that does not matter. For God is here. We have gathered all of our materials, everything we have, to allow for his resurrection, and for his grooming to begin. As we may pick up the broken pieces and put them back together of the shattered mother. Beginning now. And Goddess, wearing the ceremonious robes, walks forward and picks up this large blue bowl, where there's a yellow and purple and black and white swirling liquid inside. It's constantly moving, reminding you of like a nebula. And he picks it up, holding it with hand. He pulls out a dagger, goes to the body of Adis, and then from the wound that killed him, he stabs into it, making more blood draw out. She pulls out again, blood on the dagger. He puts the dagger into the bowl and starts swirling it around, stirring it. And the liquid inside turns a red color and begins to glow slowly. And you see smoke come off as you see the bowl begin to almost dissolve like acid. And you all hear Gardas kind of wince in pain as some of the liquid flashes onto his hands. But he continues nonetheless. He finally pulls out the dagger, only to see that the metal that was inside has been dissolved away, and he throws it to the side, clinging onto the floor. A pedestal is put up, and he steps on top of it, holding the bowl in front of the congregation before turning to Adis. With the elixir of the Crimson Star, he shall be brought back to us. The bowl and the liquid is poured into Adis's mouth. Adis, you're sitting in the cosmos with your mother. You're just chatting, just taking time to just wasting time. And then you see the starscape begin to turn a crimson color. It's time, but before you can say another word, you feel yourself thrown to the floor, pulled, and you feel pain go throughout your corporeal body. And you feel like your insides begin to burn like acid. An actual damaging burning like you're chugging down acid. Then you black out. And you wake up in a strange place. You're in a simple red room. And there's a single figure in the room. A familiar blue kobold with glasses, just standing in the middle of the room. He does not see you and he does not hear you. What do you do?
I try to reach out to walk towards him.
You try to walk and you try to lift up your hand, but then you're stopped as you feel that you were chained to the ground. And you're confused. You're not sure what's happening, where you are. You just suddenly appeared here. Begin looking around, looking for anything. Like, if something is coming, if there's anything you can grab, anything. You don't see anything. You don't even see you just partly see your body like the spiritual form that you were before, but you slowly see scales beginning to emerge from nothing. And you hear footsteps suddenly approaching. From behind Colton, emerging from the red abyss, is a tall man. You, of course, recognize him. Didn't think anything at first, but he has a strange look in his eye, and makes you nervous. The brown hair and the brown beard with streaks of white in it, and the tattered cloak that he wears, tattered robes and jacket. Dr. Orazar, why is he here? And then he suddenly speaks. Fascinating. The delicate specimen. For in a flash, Dr. Orazar is on top of Colton. Colton brings out his wand in a flash, but it's dashed to the side, clattering across the red floor. Dr. Orazar pins him to the ground, wringing his hands around his head, beginning to strangle him, pressing all his weight into the kobold. What are you doing?
With all my might, I try to break the chains.
Roll me a wisdom check. That was a high DC. You struggle and you pull against the chain so much that you scream in agony and rage and pure determination as the chains ripped from their bases on your ankles, on your wrists, ripped. You rush forward before tackling Dr. Orazar to the ground, tumbling. Everything goes black. And you wake up in a ceremonious chamber. Dwarves all around you, you're strapped to a pole, and your insides burn from some acidic liquid going into your system. And then in the crowd, you see your friends, and you see a familiar blue kobold with glasses. But as you come to, you see something strange. Behind that blue kobold is this ginormous bird with 4 wings and blue feathers and almost spectral, like the feathers are glowing and coming off of it like spectral form. And you see that, and you lock eyes with that creature, and then it disappears. Because as if it was never there. And then you look elsewhere, and you see something on each of your friends. You see the golden. You see something gold above the human. You see something human-like, maybe something purple and just malicious above Pine Elf, and then you see something green, hopeful above the strange wolf and sheep creature that you've never seen before. And you see Kaylee, and there's nothing above her. And then they all dissipate. And the entire crowd of dwarves erupts into cheers, screams, whoops. Many are sobbing with excitement. Your eyes focus back on that kobold. And that is where we're ending tonight's session.
Hey. Good session.
Okay.
Something follows all of you. Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, should we close
Welcome.
off the stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. Yeah, people can tweet at me saying that I should let my players die, but hell, I don't care.
I think it's fine. You know, there's like a you see. I think I've told you this before, but you're the DM. You can make things happen.
I know. But, it's not fun if I just make it railroaded, But anyway, we don't need to get in that conversation. Thank you all for watching. It's a dream being able to do this. Have a good night.
Good night.
Night.